everyone. How are you feeling? There we go. Bright and early. I love it. I'm so excited to see all of your faces back here for day 2 of Crocs. I have the pleasure of introducing to you David Ali and Natasha Castles. Please give them a big round of applause.
Hello, hello. Good morning. Buenos días.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
There we go. Thank you so much for making the time to be here, investing in yourself and your future, and just, making some time to learn some gems. David, how you doing this morning?
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? I know you're coming from a busy schedule, just coming off a show with Larry June at Sac University. How are you feeling today?
I feel good. I love Arizona. I was here like 2 weeks ago. It's a good city, a lot of good people, so I'm always happy to come to AZ.
I thought it was interesting, as we were going back and forth in emails talking about this weekend's events, you made it a point to say that you and Kehlani had built a team together.
Yeah, I think it's important because I think when they first freestyled, it was like how David Ali built the brand behind Kehlani. But me and Kehlani really partners, that we did it together. So I was like, I got to make sure the title was appropriate to the situation.
I love that. Now, you didn't just manage Kehlani's career, you built infrastructure around it. Looking ahead, do you think the future of management is less about deal making and more about ownership and ecosystem building from day one?
I think it's about deal making for sure, because I think the deals is the most important piece of it. But I think the infrastructure is important too, and like building from the ground up. Because obviously you start in the beginning with like not a lot of money. Some people do, but the average person, you're building from not having a lot. So you're working with your friends, you're working with other people that are like equally as motivated and excited to want to be in music as you. Some stay, some fall off. But I think the infrastructure comes from like finding solid people that you can build with, that you learn how to delegate. But you always want to, while delegate, I think you still want to stay close to it because you want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned, starting from the beginning, maybe not having a lot of money. In what ways do you feel like you guys got creative as a team to be able to put yourself out there, not having maybe the right budget early on?
Well, we come from like the CD era, probably like one of the last rounds of it. We was printing up mixtapes and passing them out around the Bay Area, around LA. So we was really going in stores and going in like shops and introducing ourselves to people, being like, hey, this is Kehlani, this is my new mixtape, check it out. So we come from the era where like the digital marketing, I'm still kind of learning how all that works. I got a lot of professionals around me, but I still believe in like real life contact. We call it hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the Bay Area is such a special place. Was there any special place when it comes to music, the way the locals support each other, the way the sound kind of speaks for itself? Was there any intimidation in regards to expanding past the Bay?
I don't think so, but I grew up in New Jersey and I moved to San Francisco. I moved to San Francisco when I was 18 for college. So I think I brought like a different perspective there. But when I got there, I really learned about Bay Area music, which is like a world of its own. From like, I remember back then it was like the Federation, the Jack and the Mob figures, of course 40 is Short, Keith the Sneak. It was so many of them. And they had like their own thing. Like it was all these superstars locally that I had never heard of, but all the kids in college loved them. And even I think it reaches out to like AZ. I feel like since the HBK days, we've been coming out here and it's always like Arizona, like, how could curse? Arizona rocks the Bay Area music. I was gonna say San Jose, but Arizona like being a big supporter of like stuff coming out of the Bay too. So the Bay reaches like the Pacific Northwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Hawaii. That sound travels. So I think for us it was always like, let's see how far we can take it.
Now, they say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Looking back at the drop of Cloud 19 to now, there's a Grammy win under the belt, getting ready to drop the self-titled album. Do you remember what your why was as a team then versus now? Did that evolve or change?
I think back then you're chasing a dream, right? Like everything that we doing today, I feel like you don't know if it's possible. You got dreams like people listening to your music, doing these shows, and different things. But back then, I think it's about the dream and then finding the artist. And I heard Jimmy IV say something one day, and I really agree with him. You want the world to see the artist how you see him. How you believe these people could be like superstars or like people all over the world are like them. So that's kind of like the goal, right? Just to take someone and be like, yeah, I think this person is incredible, and have other people around the world agree and see that vision.
That's beautiful. Now, with the evolution of Above Ground evolving into a multi-division company, what skills do you think the next generation of managers will need to go beyond traditional artist management, thinking more like founders and operators versus just being representatives of the artist?
I think a manager job, well, I think the rule number one is you gotta like care. Like about whoever you're working with, whatever you do. If you don't like them, if you don't care about them, you shouldn't work with them. Because it takes so long to make money. Like you might be working with somebody for 2-3 years before you can even pay your bills off of them. So you gotta make sure you enjoy dealing with this person every day, talking to them 15, 20 times a day, dealing with their problems, business and personal. And I think you gotta get used to doing it all. I think the fundamentals are still very important, but I think the digital landscape really helps you too. Like I think knowing how to talk to people, making relationships, building a network, like a manager with a network, I think is really like useful because you want to be able to connect dots and use it. If you want to go out to restaurants, you want to go to clubs, this person got a clothing brand, like all the culture of it, I think is super necessary. And even I think for y'all, like if you aspiring to be a manager or an executive, building with like your peers. My whole thing came from like kids I went to college with, like my friends, and then like people we knew locally who was rapping, throwing parties, or DJing, doing clothes, and we all built together. And I work with a lot of them to this day. I don't know if that answered your question, but I think
No, we got it. We got it. Shoot, I think talent management is an underrated skill of its own. What kind of advice would you give someone in regards to how to move with integrity? What characteristics to steer from? And I think you kind of touched on it right now, but if you could expound on just the talent management skill of it all.
I think you got to make sure that the client wins first. Like if they good, you're gonna be great. Because a lot of guys like, let me make sure I'm straight. But if you make sure that they straight, you'll be good forever. And I think just making sure that like they good mentally, spiritually, work wise. Because if the artist ain't good personally, then they're not gonna be good professionally.
What do you feel while you're worrying about somebody else who's taking care of you? Like what characteristics in yourself have you learned throughout the journey that allows you to keep going?
You gotta just believe in yourself. It's a lot of times you're sacrificing your own personal for others. Multiple others. It could be the artist, it could be your team, your employees. There's all different scenarios where you putting yourself second. But so I feel like you gotta be really strong within. And you gotta really believe in what you're doing to put yourself second. Like, no, everything I'm doing gonna be worth it. I think working out is good too. Eating good, taking vitamins, a healthy lifestyle is very important. An hour a day be yourself, I think is good important.
I mean, even before the chat started today, you made it a point to step away for 5 minutes, listen to some music, center yourself, ground yourself, and I mean, those are also helpful tools too.
Yeah, I always listen to gangster rap before I do these panels.
Hey. Now, historically, artists relied on labels, publishers, and external teams, but that model is shifting. Do you see more artist teams moving towards an in-house, vertically integrated systems, or is there still value in traditional separation of roles?
I think artist teams should do it all. But I think it takes a lot of time to do it all. Like you gotta learn the music business, which is totally different from marketing. There's like record deals, there's management deals, there's publishing deals, there's brand deals. Then you got what does a publisher do? What does a record label do? What does a manager do? Then you have touring. What does a tour manager do? What does the runner do on tour? What does the VIP person do? I think it takes a lot of time to learn everything. But I think learn as many skills as possible. You want to have an understanding of as much as a business, how this works, how that works, so then you can have an opinion on different things and kind of know what to look for.
What do you feel like were some of the challenges for yourself early on that you had to learn quickly?
Everything. Like we didn't have mentors, so we learned everything from the ground up, from like being on the road, and my best friend's a tour manager and a stylist, to merch, shipping merch out of my house, to then shipping merch out of the office. I don't know. Everything was a challenge, but in the best way. Like we wanted to learn it, and we was like, nobody else is giving us a chance, so let's go figure out how we do it. And you could figure out a lot if you try. You could. I think you could almost figure out anything if you put the time and with making mistakes and just feel a little dumb. Because the dumb people become smart.
Eventually, hope so.
For real, did they try?
I feel it. For young professionals entering this space, what's the smartest way to position themselves today if they eventually build something as expansive as you and your team are building? What should they be learning right now in this room?
Everything. But when I say that, I mean like taking as many opportunities as you can. Like when different people come into town, yo, can I help out with the show? My man Two over there, he's like a vet in the game. He got a lot of experience. I think just being a fly on I was a fly on the wall for a long time with a lot of people and saying, yo, can I help or can I roll? And staying in studios till we all fall asleep. Just being around, soaking up as much game as possible. I just wanted to be in it so bad and wanted to be a part of it. Just every day I was like, yo, what can I do? What can I be around? And how can I learn? Just always trying to like offer myself to people. And some people gonna take advantage of you. That's part of the game. But experience worth more than money. So sometimes if you're not getting money, but you're getting experience, you make yourself more valuable. And y'all young. Somebody told me when I was young, you don't need a bunch of money. You need a lot of experience because then you can make money for the rest of your life.
Yeah. There is a definite silver lining. Even, a lot of deals or some deals just won't work out or go through. But there's always the silver lining of that situation. How was it for you early on having to decide, with artists, you're doing a lot of free shows, showing up, doing interviews, X, Y, Z. For you, managing a team or just a smaller team early on, how did you go about deciding whether an opportunity was bigger than a paycheck?
It depends on the opportunity, how you measure it. Like, what is the opportunity? What can you get from it? But to this day, we still do opportunities that's bigger than a paycheck. Like even for Kehlani, like we do different things where the value, it might break even or lose a little bit, but the opportunity is worth a ton. And even with developing artists, even for myself, I work on things currently right now that I worked on for years, never made $1 off of it. But you can see where like it can go. You can see the fans coming in. So I think you gotta weigh it out with your gut, but I'm a huge believer like opportunity over money. Mm-hmm. Some of my peers disagree, but it's been working for me.
I love that. Now, with the core fan base, speaks for itself. Kehlani could have had the entire park just as filled out before the Grammy win as much as the after the Grammy win.
Before folded too.
Before folded too. Was that very intentional for the team to build that fan base from the ground up before even, I guess, being discouraged by the slow burn of the rest of the world getting hit to Kehlani?
Was it I think we just came up in the era like us rocking who rocking with us. And we was very fortunate because we went on tour with G-Eazy in 2015, which I think was the first time we came to Arizona. And being on tour with G, it was like nobody I knew in rap knew who he was. He was like a white rapper, but he was from Oakland. He was really with the culture. But he was selling tickets, more tickets than like any of the rappers. And people didn't know who he was, but you would go to his show, and his fans, he might have been the only rapper they actually listened to. But it didn't matter, they fucked with him, you know what I mean? So they was coming out deep. And I seen that across the whole country. So I was like, okay, let's stay on this road. Let's just keep growing this network and just keep super serving the people that rock with Kehlani. And we were seeing the streams, we were seeing the merch. And you got all the backing tools so you can see where they like me in this city, they like me in this country. So we just started telling the booking agent, yo, we want to go to this city, we want to go to this country. I think data is like a yellow brick road for where to go. You got so much information available where it's like Spotify for artists, Google search, Facebook. Facebook is still really important. You got the Instagram dashboard. You got apps like Chart Metrics where you can go and see like all the numbers, although I think chart metrics isn't accurate because I feel like when you look at your back end and chart metrics, it'd be a little skewed. But if you take all the information, it can kind of point you in the right direction. And I think if you take a small percentage of it, let's say you got 10,000 or 20,000 monthly listeners, you might be able to get 100 people in a room. If you do more, amazing. But if you just take the smallest percentage of it and build off that, over years and years, it just keeps growing. And if you make great music, you got great artists, as you grow, it's going to grow. If you put 100 people in a room, everybody got their phone out, 10, 20,000 people might have seen the show. So if we're doing that all over, you're getting so many eyes and perspective on what you're building. And every day, you just want to make sure it's just growing and growing and growing.
You mentioned G-Eazy, you know, filling out these rooms, going on tour at a time where people didn't know who he was, where he was from. They've heard about him. That might be, you know, their one favorite rapper at that one time. And I'm assuming that was also before the radio play, right? Was there a time where you guys, as a team, purposely approached radio, or was it calculated in a sense, like, wait, it's not time yet, we're gonna keep pushing this end and keep going on tour and super serving our fans first before knocking on that radio door?
I think everybody want to be on radio all the time. Now, I think when artists say that, it's like the defense mechanism, like, nah, I'm good, because the radio not playing their music. And we always wanted to be on radio. Some markets will play it, some markets wouldn't. But Phoenix actually, shout out our boy Complex, put out everything out the gate, from Crazy to Distraction. Phoenix always put out radio. That's why we always come to Phoenix, because we was always getting radio spins out here. We did that radio show where it was like the spinning thing.
Yeah, Celebrity Theater?
Yeah. We did that show with A Boogie in like 2015, 2016. So yeah, we tried to get on radio, but it was at the point where like these songs not blowing up on radio, right? You're having good success, but I think I learned now, 12 years later, that you can't force radio. That you can get the songs on the radio, they can go off for research, but the song actually got to work. And that's a lot of like your frustration early on is like, they not playing my shit, or like, it's not clicking, it's not working. But there's like levels of hits and records. There's also levels of promotion and marketing too. But I think with the way everything is set up right now, when a song going, it's gone. It's like Folded, for example. It's going to be back in the top 10 this week. It was #1 at Urban last week. And we put out this song almost a year ago. We never had a song we drop and it just don't go away. So I think I've learned in that moment that, yeah, you want radio, but just keep dropping until something click. That was our mindset. Like, let's just keep dropping this music, keep doing these shows, keep rocking with the people. Just keep doing everything we got in our power, because radio, you can't control it. You can't control, like, is the masses going to like it? But we can control making sure our fans like what we like. Like, if we was Coca-Cola, we can keep selling Coke because we know they drinking Coke, you know what I mean? And if we to do some new flavor in the hits, cool. But we just keep serving Coke till they don't want to drink Coke no more.
I like that you mentioned that Folded, you know, dropped almost a year ago or over a year ago, because I've seen that as a constant conversation when it comes to Kehlani. We see she's been on it, performing it left and right, as well as the Leon Thomas Mutt. And I'm not sure if it's a lot of the social media conversation. I'm not sure if it's complaints or just people asking why are they still performing these songs that everyone, to them, in their eyes, everyone already knows.
You saying that people on social media keep asking why we keep performing the same song? I don't even think we're concerned with what they say.
Right?
Like, but I say that in a respectful.
People still want to hear it.
Yeah, we still like we doing ground patrol. Like when we came to Phoenix, that's the first time we performed Folded here. It's what is it? 84 countries in the world, 50 states in America, mass cities. Like, we gotta go touch as many places because people like the record. They deserve to hear it live. They're gonna hear it maybe another 100 more times before we get tired of it. And I think we blessed to have a song that we don't hate. Like, we actually love the song. A lot of people be having records and they don't like the records. We even had songs that be like huge songs and like #1 all through Asia, but she don't love the songs. So to have a song that's working and you like it, it's the best. If somebody got a problem with it, tell them it's all good.
That's a weird problem to have, though. Like, wait, you can't just be happy for their success? Like, I still want to hear it, regardless.
And it'd be different if it was like you seen her performing a million times. They haven't yet. And we got an amazing tour coming up where we're going to perform all across the country, all over the world. So They're gonna see it a few more times for sure.
That hasn't been announced yet, right?
Nah. But you know when the album come a tour, so they know it's coming.
I almost want to ask, what can you tell us about the album? Dropping in April 24th. That's what, next week? Next Friday, this Friday.
The album drops this Friday. I think people gonna like it. I hope people like it. It's real R&B. They got some amazing features. And I think it's Kehlani's best work. And we work with this guy, Chris Riddick Tynes. He's our executive producer and our A&R. He's been incredible to work with. I always joking, but he like our Quincy. Because he really be in it with us, so I'm going to keep saying that, because that's how I feel.
What has been, I guess, the most gratifying part for you? You know, you've been with Kehlani from such a young age, hungry artist, to now this point as a witness to all of it, being part of it, building together. What has been the most, I guess, fulfilling part for you?
Everything's been amazing. I think this moment that we're in, we still processing it, because it's like, it's crazy. This song is crazy, but personally, my life hasn't changed that much. Like, I still gotta go to work and do the same thing every day. But I think to see the Grammys, to see people singing the song, to see Billboard, like, it's been on Billboard for like 13, 14 weeks. I asked somebody at the label the other day, have you ever seen anything like this in his whole career? Like, you never seen a song I just keep moving like this. So all of it is just incredible. I think it's the most humbling, because we work for it. Like, there was a point where you're like, that we never gonna have that moment. And then another point, everybody gonna get their time. And all my friends that had their time, some I started before, some we started together. I used to be like, I'm happy for them, you know what I mean? I feel like we got our own thing. So to have our moment now is incredible. And it's just humbling. It makes you want to keep working. Like, this moment we have it now, Drake had this moment for 15 years. Like, he done had 15, 20 folders. So I think the goal is to, like, figure out how you extend the life of what's going on and build something like a Drake or Cash Money or like a Rockefeller, where you can have these moments for not just one song, not just 1 year, but for like 20 years and share that with so many other people.
Do you think there's a specific part of the foundation that you built over the years that attributes to that longevity?
For sure, because we fuck with our fans and we with the people, and we really showing up every day. We kind of like middle fingers to the music industry, like just rock with real people, people that like want to be around us, and doing all the stuff they tell you that don't matter. Like, we was doing album signings when everybody like, why you doing that? But now if you see like the last recent years, all the major artists doing album signings, because you got to go touch the people. Even like with streaming, all that stuff is cool, but all that stuff can be like manipulated. People showing up to come see you in real life, unless you pay them to go there, it's the hardest thing to manipulate. You can't pay 20, 30,000 people, 100,000 people to show up somewhere. So just, we just work really hard, and kudos to Kehlani, because she shows up. That's why, like I said, we got to put this as a partnership, because like, I got ideas, she got ideas, I show up and she show up. And we show up on no sleep, whatever. Like, we about to go on a promo tour this week for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be like gruesome. But we're going to knock out everything, and then hopefully we got a good result.
Yeah, even post Grammy winning, I mean, even before, you see Kehlani everywhere, and she's just so open and excited, and it's, you can truly see the marathon you guys are running.
It's a real marathon, too.
It's a real marathon.
I've been working every day this week from like 7 a.m. to midnight. So it's just been a grind. So you gotta love it though, because if you like what you do, it ain't even tripping. You're like, oh shit, I just gotta go home because I'm sleepy, but I would have stayed later.
I definitely have moments like that, like, damn, it's 12, I gotta go to sleep. Oh, I wanna keep working.
And I think I would tell y'all to align yourself with people that just got the same type of hunger, same type of grind as you. Because that's what you need. You need like some camaraderie to get through this. Because a lot of times you're gonna be by yourself. Only person will believe in yourself. You gotta make sure you got some peers who are inspired and excited too.
I love that. You hear that? Connect with the people next to you, please. Now, as artists gain more independence and control, what do you think will define a great manager in the next 5 to 10 years? What will separate someone who simply manages from someone who can truly build and sustain an artist's long-term career? Did you get that?
One more time.
I got
Sorry
you.
about that. This phone going crazy.
No, as an artist, what they say. It's cool. As artists gain more independence and control, what do you think will define a great manager in the next 5 to 10 years? What will separate someone who simply manages from someone who can truly build and sustain an artist's long-term career?
Oh, that's cool. I see this every day actually. I feel like you got like managers and you got like managers just going like, let me figure out the appropriate word. Somebody will use the appropriate word. I think there's just two different type of management setups. You got guys that just manage their artists and are very reactive, and you got guys that manage artists who are very proactive. I think for a long term, you have to start thinking about everything as it arrives. Like if your artist is not touring yet, you don't need tour managers. Or like if you're not selling merch, you don't need merch. But just having different divisions of people to help you grow different things, because it's all multiple businesses in the one umbrella. You have like day-to-day management, where that's like calendar, schedule, making sure people get there in time. So you need like good assistants to help with the artist personally, because our job is to make the artist's life easy. Like they really should just think about making music every day. Like regular people, we got so much stuff to think about: bills, clothes, laundry, da da da. Da. But for artists, you want to make it so simple that they can just think about making music and be creative all day. If you can help them achieve that, you can help people achieve greatness, because then they can just focus on their craft.
Have you had an opposite of that experience, though, working with an artist that wasn't necessarily investing in their time and their own craft?
Yeah, many scenarios of that. I think it's more common than common as people invest in their time and their craft or want to do it. It's like a lot of superstars don't even want to do music. Like they just happen to be really dope at it. So you gotta, it's like get them to the Greek, right? You gotta help make sure they get where they going. But I try to find people that love music, love to stay craft, love to get creative. And you can show them different things. I think it's always good to show people and explain stuff, whether it's artists or like executives or people working for you saying like, you should do this, and this is why you should do this, and this show don't happen when you do it. I think you gotta teach people to invest in themselves, show them like what the outcome is. If we do this, then this happens. And if you do that, then that happens. The more you do that, you create a trust between you and the artist, or you and your team, showing them like, I'm telling you to do different things, and here's why.
I heard someone say, watching a podcast, they were talking about the patience it takes to constantly repeat yourself, and not seeing repeating yourself as a negative. It's just more so a natural learning curve for humans. You know, you go to school, you study, you repeat the same, things, the same motions over again. Would you agree with that?
Do you mean like telling somebody something over and over again, or doing something over and over again?
Both. I mean, the repetitive, I guess, also can be compared to consistency.
Oh, cool. So repetitive in a good way, because it's one repetitive where like you do the same thing, you get the same results. Because there's also is like, if you stay consistent with something, then something to keep growing. That's like going to the gym. I started working out a year ago. I hate working out. But like you work out every day, you start seeing results. Your clothes start getting looser, you start feeling more good, your joints start feeling better. I think music and anything I think in life is like that. Or if you stay consistent, you do it every day, you put your reps in, whether you're a performer, whether you're a manager, anything you want to do, if you stay consistent, I think it just gets better and it builds.
Yeah, that working out stuff, I hate it, but dang, they feeling so good afterwards. Like, oh, I got to do this again. I like this feeling.
I agree. I hate working out. I seen French Montana tweet that years ago, and I was like, I feel you, but I'm into it now.
What habits have you, speaking of working out, and you started a year ago, is there other habits, I guess, on a administrative end that you have built over time?
To-do list. I think to-do lists are super important. I was never a to-do list guy, or calendars, all that. I think having a solid to-do list, shout out to my boy Dro, like 15 years ago, like, yo, you need to start writing this shit down. And before I was just throwing parties, freestyling, and it was working. So I was like, yo, I'm nice at what I do, but he was like, you gotta get organized. You gotta like take what's in your mind and put it on paper. Cause you could be super organized up here, but it's helpful to write it down. I think to-do list is important. Communication is important. I don't know, just
Is there something specific about communication though? Because I feel like that alone, the word communication is also nuanced into like communicating with your team every step of the way. Hey, I'm working on this.
yeah, I'm trying to get better at that part to communicate with the team every step of the way. But you know, consistency there should help me get better at that too. But communication just from everybody you're working on, like with Kehlani, I communicate with I don't know, maybe like 100 different people a week, from people that work on my team, which is 12 people, people that work at our label, which is probably another 10 people. Then you got the labels around the world. You got our promoters of Live Nation. You got our merch person. You got the different partners that they're working on stuff with. So having like a good line of communication with them is super important, and learning how to like make decisions really quick. I feel like that is the most important piece of management is making decisions. And some days you're making 50 decisions, 100 decisions, and you like at the stroke of a few minutes. Like even right now, when I gotta leave here, I need to go make another 20 decisions. Since this morning, I had to tell the team, yo, can y'all stop texting me? I gotta go talk to this panel. I just need a second. But making decisions, I think, is one of the most important pieces.
What do you look for personally when building the infrastructure of above ground as you continue to build it? What did you look for early on? And was it characteristics, of course, skill sets, right? But is there a certain characteristic that I guess defines someone that would be trustworthy to work with, a pleasure to work with, all of the above?
We still a small business. Like we got some big things going on, but I just hire people off the vibe. Like if I fuck with you and you cool and you consistent and you show up, then we gonna work. We can teach you different things, and if you got a passion for this, you want to be a part of it, then we can figure it out. But I don't really hire industry professionals because I feel like they come with like their way of doing different things, and I rather build some people who like want to be here every day. Is rocking with us. They're not leaving at 6 o'clock because it's not a 6 o'clock job. We leave when we done, and really love the lifestyle and the culture. Because the music business is nothing like any other job. You don't have to do this. You absolutely got a choice, right? This is like the hardest job. Is the longest hours. So you absolutely don't have to do it. Like if you don't like it, you shouldn't even do it. You should be like, I'm good.
It could be thankless.
Continuously thankless. So I just find people that want to be here and like believe in what we doing and believe in me like I believe in them. Some of the people that work on my team don't even listen to rap or R&B, but they're incredible at what they do, and I like being around them and they like being around me.
Yeah, I always feel like you can't teach someone passion. You can't teach them to be passionate. You can teach them skill sets, but you can't teach them to understand it or get it, whatever it is for your particular industry. Like you said, you can't. This is not a 6 o'clock job. This is not a 9 to 5.
Same thing for what you do too. Radio don't get the props that they deserve, because like I feel like to be in radio, you got to start at the bottom. Like you literally start like my friends I've seen. I've known you for a long time too. Like people start street team, interns, this, that, and the third, waiting to get their shot. Then when they get their shot, they go do their thing. But you really got to put work in for years and years and years to get where you go.
Yeah, I'm always super grateful that I was an unpaid intern. I know nowadays interns are paid in the building, but I was very grateful to be an unpaid intern because it allowed me to be at the radio station. Any spare time I had, I was hanging out at the radio station. What you need me to do? Let me be in studio. What are you doing?
For y'all too, y'all should be unpaid interns too. If you get paid, you should get paid for sure, but you just need to be in the room. And you shouldn't even worry about the rules, right? Like, I'm excuse me for it, but it's the rules, the hours, none of that. You should be getting as much time on the books as you can, because every moment is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to be in that room, to be around people. And you change that up, it's up to you. But you got all these different opportunities that you can do in between this to like make it work.
That's the silver lining. Again, going back to being unpaid intern, because if nowadays when our interns are in the building, if they're not on the schedule, it's not an allotted hour, you can't be there. Because now that's going against.
Yeah, I'm from school. We didn't want to go home. We was like, yo, can we stay? Because you never know who's coming in next.
With the industry continuing to evolve, new tech is constantly being introduced, politics that divide or blur the lines. What are two pieces of advice you can give an aspiring artist or music exec to navigate through that?
Ask that question one more time. I heard you, but I just want to hear you one more time.
As the industry continues to evolve, new tech is constantly being introduced. Politics divides or either blurs. How would you give someone advice on how to navigate through all of that? Where to use your voice, how to use your voice?
I think when it comes to politics, stand for what you believe in. Standing for what you believe in comes with many different issues, so you got to be mindful of things that comes with, and be respectful for others while standing for what you believe in. But you know, you got to do what's in your heart. I think that's on the politics. I think that's what I would say on that. And, you know, I done learned a lot about politics in the last few years, so I would say, you know, it comes with a lot. But if you believe in something, you should stand for it. Then with technology, it's so much technology, you need to be across all of it. Someday I'll be like, yo, I don't want to do TikTok. But I started learning TikTok because TikTok is a movie, like it's going crazy, and if you ain't there, you're missing out. You need to learn all the social medias, whether you just use them every day, personally, but you should be aware of it because these kids, the artists know how to do it. And there'll be different things popping up whenever you want to be able to engage in a conversation with them or understand it, and just take the time to invest in like technology. Even like ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT all the time. The last night I was like, what's the best restaurant in Phoenix? You know what I mean? All the technology is helpful.
That's your Google now?
Kinda. And they be talking back. Stop like, bro, you're not saying nothing. And they be like, yeah, you're right for calling that out. Like, but so where's the answer I'm looking for?
What other things do you use ChatGPT for? For me, it's a lot of organization, or it's just AI, not ChatGPT in general, but like a lot of organizational tools.
So I haven't got there yet with AI. I got a couple apps that I'm trying to learn, and like the AI assistants, I need to dive into that. I advise y'all to dive into that too. I'm not there yet, but learning anything early is important. Technology is your best friend. I don't think we would be here, for me personally, with Kehlani and my team, if we didn't use technology and the analytics and the back ends and just use it to reach people.
What's your algorithm look like? What did you learn on TikTok recently?
I don't know. I'm still learning that. Look, let's come back in like 12 months. It's a little light right now. I'll be in there. I don't really follow too much, but we figured it out.
I mean, more so like when you're scrolling, like, oh, I didn't know you can make pepper out of papaya seeds. That's what I just learned recently.
I be using it just when I'm traveling. I be like, what's going on in this city on TikTok? And you find so many different like food stores, places to go, tourism stuff. And if I'm researching somebody, I be like, yo, let me pull them up on TikTok. Because it be like people that ain't lit on Instagram, but they lit on TikTok. So we need to rock with them too.
Do you use or do you look at social media as a tool to, I guess, discover new artists?
1,000%. I think that's how I discover most new artists. I meet a lot of people out and about too, whether it's at shows, on clubs, and hanging out. But it's a good way to discover new people. It's a good way to see if other people like them. Because one thing I look for to see, like, even at a small level, if people into it. Because then, you know, like, I might like it, but it's important that other people dig it too. So you can always see, even on a micro scale, or somebody getting a couple hundred likes, or if they get generic comments. As long as people fuck with it, you can grow it. It's just when nobody likes it, but you can see early on the people even thinking of music, even if they got a couple thousand plays.
I mean, even digging back to the analytics that you were talking about when it comes to planning a tour, or if a city is a city that, you know, you need to be at, or Kehlani has to have a show there. Is there, you mentioned a few, but is there like a top two average that kind of has always been accurate for you?
Top two average, what, like?
Like data that you look at?
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that people be sleeping on is like Facebook, all the YouTube, all the free stuff is super important. Cause you eat, especially like globally, and even for like inner cities, different neighborhoods. Cause everybody not spending $10 a month for Spotify and Apple. But when you're in the hood, everybody got Facebook. They got the YouTube. These apps is reaching so many people in the middle of America and even internationally. So I will always recommend Spotify for artists, Apple for artists, the YouTube, the Facebook, using all those apps direct because they got apps that can like collect information for you. But if you just spend the time every month, every couple weeks and just follow it, it helps you. Like Larry June first tour, we did like 100,000 tickets, and everybody was like, "Oh, Larry June can't do it." I was like, "Larry June got the numbers, so we'll go try it." And we ended up blowing out 5,000 in Dallas. Dude, I was just talking to somebody here about it. We ended up going to so many different markets that everybody was like, "Who's this Larry June guy?" And we put out a tour called the Polestar Tour. I don't know if you know what Polestar is, but Polestar is like a industry website that counts tickets. So it's like a back end that shows you how many tickets you sell, festivals, agents, promoters, record labels, everybody looks at it to see your value. So me and Larry made a joke and was like, "Bro, we're gonna call this the Polestar Tour," because he was already successful, already had Ferraris, already had different things, but he had never did a tour on the books. So the industry kept being like, "You can't quantify what he's worth." So we said, "Okay, cool, we're gonna do a Polestar Tour so you can register a number of Polestars."
How soon would you recommend for an artist to start touring? Is it first seeing those analytics, or I guess finding a way to open up on someone else's tour, or how do you even go about that?
The real answer is build it where you're from. Like I think you build something locally amongst your peers in your city. You want to create something that like it's a small world, right? So if somebody cracking their feet, I could call you, I could call two, I could call like, "Yo, what's going on with the artists out there? They got a little buzz," and immediately somebody gonna be like, "Oh, he's not popping out here. Oh, he got the city jumping." You want to create a word of mouth where you from that like everybody been like, "Yo, you the hottest thing in the city," because then people start getting curious. They want you do a show, they gonna want to come see it. I mean, you're not chasing people for attention. You could be, "Yo, bring me on tour, bring me on tour." You could create something where people want to bring you on tour. Kid Leroy is a good example of that. I know Kid Leroy since he was 14 years old in the studio not dropping music. That's my young boy. And I remember I met him in Sydney, Australia. He was dope back then. Mixing, mastering, producing his own music. But nobody knew who he was. And I used to be like, "When you putting out music?" And him and my man Zig used to be like, "We waiting for the right time." He started opening up for everybody where he from, creating a buzz. And he just started building something really cool with the young kids in Sydney, Australia. And then on the internet, it starts going crazy. So everybody called him like, "Yo, what's up with that Kid Leroy?" And like, "Yo, he got Sydney, Australia going nuts." And then Bibby and them signed them in Juice WRLD and it was out of here. But I've seen so many different times guys like grow something locally and build it, and then the industry will come find you. That's why we be like, fuck the industry, because it's like, they gotta come holler at us. You go talk to them, but they can't create another artist. Otherwise, they would like not need us or need you. Like it wouldn't be until y'all sit in this room, they just be making shit. They need what we do, so we gotta just keep creating stuff that they gonna want.
Do you think there's other skills that an artist should try to hone in on aside from obviously the music and musicianship, anything outside of that they should be also trying to build?
Yeah, I think learning how to market yourself. Nobody knows how to market themselves better than the artist. And it's like a big back and forth online now about like, well, this person had to do this or this person had to do that. But like, it's a different time, it's a different era. And I think you got to make sure you put yourself out there and knowing like what resonates with you, knowing who you are, knowing what works. For me, Larry June is like the best example of that because he knows exactly who he is, only does what he wants to do, makes the music he wants to make, be like, "Dave, this is a hit." And I'd be like, "I don't know, bro. Put it out." The fans, like, they love it. They be like, "This shit's slack." And they be knowing. So you got to have that relationship with your people where you know what they want. You know what they like. It's like when girls post a selfie, right? They know the selfies that the dudes be like, "Oh, you going crazy for." Same thing with an artist. You got to know your angles. You got to know what works.
The selfie hit, huh? Is there anything that we're working on currently that you're really excited about? I mean, amongst the dropping an album?
Everything. Larry June, Kehlani, Destin Conrad. I work with this kid named Kari from San Francisco. Work with a rapper named Lil Pete. There's this girl from Sacramento named Lanicia who's dope. And I recently started working with a girl. She's a content creator and a fashion designer from India. Her name is David Ali. I don't know if you've seen the cool girl in India on TikTok or Instagram.
Sorry, I love her.
Yeah, so we manage her too. She's my buddy. That's been like a cool journey into a whole new world of fashion and content creators.
Is that different for you? You know, coming from the artist end of things and now working with the I mean, I would title her as a fashion designer first, but like the content creator route that she created for herself and that buzz is pretty cool to watch.
It's been a cool journey. And through music, dealing with branding, and then coming from San Francisco, which is like a streetwear capital, I learned a lot about fashion just like in the streets. I like watching guys build these brands and turn to like multi-million-dollar brands and things like that. So it's completely different from what I've been doing, but the relationships and the language and the communication is similar, and just helping somebody protect the IP and what they built. Because a lot of the times, all these people, when you get hot, they want a piece of what you're doing. There's power in like saying no. I remember building something on my own. If you can be a good partner to me, then sure, I want to partner with you. But a lot of people want to partner with you and you get nothing out of it. And one thing we always tell people, like, it has to make sense. So we ask why, we want to understand things. And you might be this huge conglomerate, but like, what are you doing for us? Because we already have something going on, which made you call. So let's find a way where like, I can get something from you, you can get from me. I think the most important thing, I think, in business, music business, life, just being a good partner. It's like us and like my man Complex on the radio station. He show up for us, I show up for him. You want to have great partnerships all throughout business, whether you're throwing parties, you want to make sure you make money, and the club want to make money, whether you're doing music, you want to make sure you make money, the record label make money. You want to have a partnership, not a bank robbery, but on both sides.
I like that. A partnership, not a bank robbery. Thank you so much for your time today, David Ali. Do we have time to open up any questions at all, or?
Yeah, we got about like 5 minutes. We could take like 2 questions.
Oh, there we go.
We gotta take more than 2 questions.
Yeah.
Well, first, thank you for being here. You're incredibly smart, incredibly inspiring. But I wanted to ask a question on the personal level. A lot of where you're coming from is a real servant heart, mindset, hard work, old-fashioned, almost like Jesus and Muhammad type of character. And honestly, in the industry, you're an anomaly. We don't see that. Usually cast as arrogant as hell and, you know, and disrespectful, demeaning. Where did all of your servant leadership heart come from? Like, how was that cultivated? And then on top of that, could you even deal with how that's needed today in the industry more than ever, because you're an anomaly, and thank you for being who you are.
Man, that's some words, brother. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I just love what I do, and I came up like sitting in your seat. You know what I mean? I was sitting in your seat many times, and even when I met Tool, like I was grinding. And I just love the game. I feel like some people like play basketball. We do music, and it's a blessing to be here. I think being like a servant and being of service is how I got here. Constantly like helping people and just putting like my services forward. And a lot of times people be like, "Who looking out for you?" I done got so much personally, whether it's professionally, business, life, just being solid. And that's the line that I push and stand on, because it's worked out for me. A lot of people will be having different opinions, but in the long run, they be working out different for them. They be working out for me. So I just think you gotta be solid and show up for other people. And we not like the stars, right? Like this, like the first time I even stood on stage doing this, I always be saying no, because Tool's my man. I think I'm gonna come do this. But we in the business of making other people look good. And if they look good, we look great. And people only know me because we do good work.
Got one more over here, and not there.
Hi, David. I'm Bailey. I'm an artist here in Phoenix.
What's up, Bailey?
How you doing?
I'm all right. How you?
Oh, great. So I have a question about your team. I heard you say you have about 12 members in your team. What do those roles look like in your team?
So I run through a few of them. I got a merch manager who doubles with graphic design, like a creative. I have a marketing manager. Her name's Teresa. She does marketing. I got an assistant named Taylor who like deals across. She really like an operation manager. We deal across all different verticals that we're working on. You have Jack who handles logistics. We got a person who handles just touring. You have someone who handles finance. Make sure like every cent is calculated. One of the real pieces of the game I give everybody who want to be an artist manager or an executive, you always need a buffer between you, the money, and the artist. A lot of issues happen when it comes to money, right? And like, I'm not a finance professional. If you are, and that's amazing for you, but you want to put a finance professional in between you and the artist. That way, it's like it's always, whenever there's an issue, you can pull it up. But like, well, this is the issue right here. Let's figure it out. What other team members we got? We got multiple day-to-day managers. So like Larry got a day-to-day. Destin got a day-to-day. Studio manager. More day-to-days. And then just recon. You know what I mean? Like we was the army. We got the guys that they get in and get busy.
Thank you.
For sure.
Good.
Like one more in the back here, Winston, or
I know we in a rush, but we should take a couple more questions.
We're gonna stay till 11. We're good.
That's perfect. Thank you. Sorry we still in time up here. We just want to rock with the people.
Thank you for your time, David. My name is Winston Turner. I'm a co-owner of a creative agency out here called OM. Recently, we actually started management, and I'm managing this artist right here, Henry James.
Henry James.
Yes. We've been very blessed. We've dropped 2 singles so far, and the second one is getting a lot of traction on editorials and just Spotify in general. But we are curious, just what would you recommend at a stage like this? Like, what are the next steps that we should be taking? We did do some team building, bringing on PR. We do have our graphic designer and creative director here as well.
Shout out to graphic designers. I feel like that's like the most important person.
Just wanted to pick your brain on like what you would recommend like the next steps be.
So your editorial support, is it coming from using like the radar tools and Spotify and stuff like that?
Spotify just put us on Discover Weekly, and then also just the radio. Yeah, a lot of the streams actually have been just the radio Spotify feature.
That's amazing. I think keep dropping. Turn your joint in 3-4 weeks early so you can get radar. That's when like the editorial people listen to it. And they actually do listen to the music. Like the guys that know Spotify and Apple, they spend all day Thursday and Friday listening to new music that's coming out. So you never know what's going to resonate. But I would say just keep dropping music because you never know what's going to hit. Like you drop 2 songs, 1 hit. You might drop 5, another one to hit. Just keep feeding the fan base and growing it. And you guys are from here, right?
Yeah, I'm from Vegas, but I've been out here for 6 years, but they are both from Arizona, yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend building here in real time amongst your peers and amongst the culture locally, and then using the internet to keep growing it there too, because they both end up colliding.
100%. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, David.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course.
These are some very good
My
parts.
brother Drive in the building. That's my man. We go back a long time right there. I didn't know you was gonna be ready too.
So I'm Erin, I'm the director of the program, and something that I wanted to ask you about was just communication style, like what you've learned about communicating as you enter the industry, like the way that you communicate, whether it's like email or, you know, when people are trying to get started, like how hard should they push and like what is the tone and how has that changed for you in terms of how you communicate with people in the industry as your career has evolved?
I'm gonna go through all 3 questions. The first question, I think communication is super important, whether it's text message, email, Instagram. I think learn how to communicate through all styles and being like responsive. And if you're not responsive, have responsive people with you. Like me, I'm responsive some days I'm not. But the people around me are like incredibly responsive and communicate at the highest level. Because I know I'm not always the best at that. That was one question. And the other question, how hard to push? I think you should be persistent with people, but not creepy. I think there's a way where men and women can be like a little like off-putting, a little strange. I think finding the right time to communicate with people, communicate about the right things. Don't text people if you ain't get their number. Like anytime somebody hit me, I ain't give my number. I'm completely off of it. I'm like, yo, stop texting me. But emails are cool, DMs are cool, and as you reaching out to people, being persistent, if you're also doing your own thing, sometimes they'll discover you. Like we recently worked with a photographer who's just been around, and he's a cool guy, but he's just been around. And we ended up hiring him because he was just incredible. And he just was coming around taking pictures. He was like, yo, bro, you working hard. Like, we need you on the team. So it's just being in the mix of it with just out being like creepy.
Yeah.
Because it can get a little scary.
Hi, my name's Haven.
Hi, Haven.
Current student, aspiring college management. And I am wondering, what is the biggest mistake and the biggest correct piece of advice for somebody starting out just getting in the door to the industry?
I don't know what the biggest mistake is because I make mistakes every day. And everybody do. Nobody is perfect. I think just trying. My biggest advice is just trying different things, trying what you believe in, and going for it. I don't have to answer your question.
No.
I think it's good to make mistakes
Okay.
because you learn from them.
Yeah.
I feel like the mistake is not trying, not, shooting your shot 1,000% of the time.
For real.
Yeah.
Every mistake I've ever made, I learned from it. So some of the mistakes actually been like a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Got some questions up here? I love the questions. This is great.
Hi, you mentioned managing Destin Conrad. He released 2 projects last year with 2 different brand identities. How do you prevent your artists from getting burnt out? Like there's all the touring he did last year and the different press. What does that look like?
So Destin Conrad, we actually partners on the label side and we manage him. And with him, he's like an anomaly, right? Like I told him from the jump, yo, you gonna be a boss too. So you gonna own the record side, and we gonna manage you. Obviously, 'cause we do everything. But he's actually like a label owner of his own records, and he's the anomaly in the sense that he's a rock star. The guy parties till 5 o'clock in the morning, then goes to a show and do that back to back. And I'm like, bro, go to sleep. He be like, nah, I'm outside.
He's still young. It'll change.
He's still young. I like to let people be who they are when it comes to music. So it's like he was like, yo, I want to put out a jazz album. I want young people to listen to jazz. We was like, cool. And that came, we put out Love on Digital before the jazz album. And he kind of told me that year, like, yo, I want to put out 2 projects this year. And I learned from Larry June, like his biggest year was before I worked with him in 2020, he put out 5 albums. And I watched the success of that. And I see NBA Youngboy, that's my man. Like I see how they just drop so much music. I think the youth, y'all generation got a bigger appetite for music. Versus like, well, we from like to get the CD, you bumping the same album for months after months. I don't think y'all really on that. I think y'all like is on to the next thing super quick unless it sticks. Mm-hmm. So you gotta just you keep feeding them. If people was still interested, I just let them go. And the music was so good that I think good music people not gonna get tired of. If you putting out some okay stuff, I thought, oh, maybe we should slow roll this. But with Destin, he's really writing the music. With the jazz album, we intentionally went and found all the jazz musicians. And we dealt with all of them from like Terrence Martin, the Keon Harold, or there's this woman, I forgot her name, but she won a Grammy for the jazz album the last couple of years. So this album was like not for like our core fan base. It was more for like people that love jazz. And I honestly didn't know how it was gonna work, but it was almost received as well, if not more, than Love on Digital. And it opened up a whole new world for him where like now we playing jazz clubs across the country and sell them out. So to answer your question, you just gotta rock with what the artists want to do, and you kind of guide them a little bit. But dope artists is gonna make dope shit.
Thank you.
For sure.
All right, we got time for one more.
What's up, Drew? That's a real legend right there, yo. Real hit maker too, like real hit maker. To give context, we got our first hit 12 years in. He made hits out the jump. You know what I mean? Like real hit maker.
Hi, my name is Kaya. I'm a talent manager in Brooklyn, New York.
BK.
Yeah, I was wondering kind of a pivot off of the burnout for the artists. How do you, as a aspiring artist who's just starting out and is getting feeling like maybe they're having issues connecting with an audience or creating a fan a fan base and a core, you said building out from local, how would you go about creating the local fan base first?
Is the artist in school or is it from the area?
From the area, does shows often, is able to draw a crowd, and is releasing music consistently. We're just looking for advice on how to solidify a core fan base.
It sounds like you already doing it, because he's doing shows, building a crowd. But I would say maybe like narrowing the shows down, because there's like the gigging version where like people are doing consistent gigs and always performing. Then there's also the version where you like it becomes a time where you do less is more. So you might drop an album and then promote a show for like a month, 2 months. Make it like a thing where you're from to the point where like everybody's tired of hearing about this show. You're packing a room full of people, and then it's less like him on the bills and performing with other people. So now people coming to his show, his moment, to basically promote the album as you're dropping. That's how we always look at rollouts, like drop an album, do some shows around it, and make it so it's like this whole, like, it's like probably like a 2-3 month rollout. Maybe 4, because you're dropping music before you're dropping the project, then you're dropping like videos after, then you get to the show, and that feels like a coming, I don't know, it's like a moment, I don't know what you call it, but it's like one of the moment where it's like his night. Sure. I'm chilling, we could all chop it up after too.
Is that all the time we have? All right, well, give it up for David Ali. Thank you so much for your time, your gems, your energy.
Thank you. I hope you had a good time. I don't really get you much talking, but he was great.
You gave us the gems.
You great too. I could have done it without you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, let's give them one more round of applause.
Have a good day.